think you should.
What's up guys, today I'm going to show you how to build a proper floor for a house and kind of how to build a house properly in general to have good structural integrity so that you can have a base that's quite tall, especially like that one in the there in the background, so that you don't have issues where you're trying to build something and it keeps breaking and falling apart. Now, if we go outside here, we'll see I'm going to use this little green area here. We're going to make a decent little house just to kind of demonstrate everything to you. We are going to first start with leveling the ground. So as you can see, we're obviously on a hillside, which can be an issue. So even when you try and level the ground, you'll run into an issue where you've still got a big hilly area, but we can somewhat mitigate that by using the leveling mechanic, because it's based on where you're standing on the ground. So like right here, I'm standing right here, so it should level to there. So if I level this spot right here, as you can see, it lowers it to my level, which can be very helpful to level things. But in some cases, whenever you build quite a big area flat, you'll run into an issue where it's not wanting to level it all the way. So what you do is you get your pickaxe out, mine it down, and it'll become level. So real quick, I'm gonna level out a decent little area here and then be right back. Alright guys, so we've got this area cleared, and as you can see, it's pretty flat. Pretty much as flat as the game will allow you to get it, just based on the way the graphics are. Kind of having a little bit of depth to the floor, at least. So first things first, we need to get our crafting station. We're going to place it so that it covers our whole area, but also so it kind of as out of the way as it can be. So actually we're going to place it for us right here. So that should cover most of our area, and what it doesn't cover I should be able to reach from inside. So once you have that done, obviously you're going to want to start with building your house. So what I like to do is I like to use this core wood for the corners, just because I kind of feel like it looks decent. So I get that, and essentially what I do is kind of build a frame, per se, of what I want the house to look like. So we'll go ahead and do that real fast, and then I'll be right back. Alright guys, so one thing I did want to go ahead and say too is whenever building with this core wood, make sure that to get this blue here, which is what you want for foundational support, make sure you are placing it into the specific ground. You don't want to get it so that it's above, like we'll go to, you don't want to place it, say, on this corner. Once this disappears, where it's snapping above for you, where it causes issues regarding, see, this isn't counting as foundation support, which is what we want. So if I place it back down in there, it should stay as foundation support for me. So that means that this one pole here, I should say, is going to stay as foundation, and then if I continue to build off of it, it will act as my starter point instead of my starter point counting as right where it's at, which is what I don't want. So now, one thing I wanted to say too is make sure that whenever you level the ground, you keep it so that it's going to stick with your floor as well, being part of the foundational support. You don't want your floor to be, well, it's best practice for your floor not to be where it's green. So if I dig right here and I go ahead and place myself a little floor, this should turn itself to green. Could be wrong. Am I wrong? Well, let's try it again here. Apparently, I guess that counted as foundational support, which it should not have. But let's try it now. So it should act as non-foundation support. Correct. There we go. So you want to always have it so that it's blue, so you don't run into issues when later on with building it at certain heights. And level it all back out. Boom. Alright, so I'm going to get this floor done, and then I'll be right back. Alright guys, so now I'm going to show you how to kind of build with structural support throughout the entire house. So once we get back up to the roof isn't going to have any structural issues. So first things first, obviously you're going to want to kind of build the walls how you want. For me, I'm going to make myself a little window in front of this. Which we'll get back to that in a little bit. Yeah, so you just kind of want to design it how you want. And once you do that, we will come right back. Alright guys, so we've got our little house built now. We're going to say it's a house. It's going to actually just end up being a little tavern for everybody to get some food and stuff from. But what we need to do is we need to get a fire up in this house. So we need to be able to obviously place that fire on the ground. For our case, we're going to be using the hearth, which you get a little bit later on, which it's nice. You can place this on floor, but if you were using a fire, you cannot place that on floor. So there's two things you can do. You can either remove the ground, place it there. Obviously you can raise the ground a little bit to be able to place it a little bit higher, but there's also another method, which if you have core wood, which we don't have any on us here, I'll just do this real quick for demonstration. Take this, and if you use core wood with two little planks like this, we'll do it right here so you guys can see. So if I place that, I can actually place the fire on top of that. So that's two methods for the little fireplace that you can use. And we're going to use that hearth, so we don't need to use the that method. But let's go ahead and place our little floor back and our post back. So now that that's placed back, we're going to go ahead and place this hearth right against the wall a little bit. I kind of want it to poke through so you don't really see the back of it too much. I just want it to be barely visible like that. And actually, just for sake of making our lives a little bit easier, we are going to place it a little bit further to the right side. So now that we've got that placed, let's add a little bit of wood to it. Water is going to, or the rain is going to make it go away, but you obviously have to have some way to move that smoke that comes from the fire and get rid of it, because otherwise you take tick damage from it. So if I were to just let that capture inside the house the whole time, it would actually end up causing me to suffocate, which we do not want that at all. It's not a good idea. But what we can do, and what I like to do, is let's actually run up to my house real quick, get some more core wood, which actually help ourselves out. And here, oh, I actually forgot. I did put more core wood in here, so we're good. Alright, so now we need to kind of, I like to style the fireplace a little bit. So what we're gonna do is put this here, put this here, and it's obviously got to go up. So place that there. Here. And now what I like to do is kind of make a viewing area for the actual fire, right? So we have that now. Let's go ahead and get our walls, and I like to actually close off not all of the sides, but just part of the sides. So now we have that, right? We've got our little viewing area, and we can actually place this here. And whenever we cover that up, we have a nice little fire. Alright guys, so the rain is gone, we slept through the night, and that's all good. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and keep working on our little house here. So what I like to do for the roof is build an actual kind of proper looking chimney, I would say. Proper per se, obviously we're using wood, and that's gonna be alright though. But we're gonna just build the little chimney walls around here. What we'll do is come over to this side. Oh, that's not good. Don't fall in. Catch yourself on fire. That's a bad idea. Alright, we got those up now. So if we go back around and up top, we can see that I placed that one wrong. So, I'm going to try and replace it. Let's do this for now. Place this here. Give ourselves a little platform to stand on. Now our life will be 10 times easier. Okay, so we got that going now. What I personally do sometimes is I'll just do this across the top, which it works because technically the smoke will get caught inside of here and come out. But what you can do is on each corner of this, place one of these, and then get a give me 1 second. Let me find the right one. Get a little roof here and a little roof here, and you've got a little way for the smoke to come out. And technically you could go ahead and just complete that, but I think it personally looks a little wonky. I feel like, so I don't add that part, but this way works, and then you can always kind of style it a little bit and put these on. Makes it look a little bit better. And then across the side, just do one of these. And then I always like to add the little, see, there's that smoke damage that I was talking about. I always like to add the little beams that go across just to kind of make it look like it's supported a little bit more. Boom, there we go, there's that. Let's go with that. Once you have your little chimney made, you can finish off your roof, which that's not placed correctly. We'll do that one and that one. And we'll just go inside and place the last two. Boom and boom. So, now we've got ourselves a little house with a nice little fire, a chimney for the fire so we don't get smoked out. And there's the little chimney. Oh, I forgot to get rid of this part here. Let's get our wood back from that. Don't want to go and lose that. Alright, so we got all of that done. And the nice thing, so since we built this house with our foundations all correct, this house isn't super tall, but everything is connected and supported. So as you can see here, these are supported better due to these two pillars right here. But what we can do in order to help the other ones is actually not necessarily duplicate another fire on the other side, but we can connect these on the other side so it kind of creates a little bit of resemblance between the two of them, and you're able to actually now have decent support going up. Obviously not quite as good due to there being more support further up for this one, because I believe what I did was I have this pillar here going up higher, which we can't do. But I'm going to add a little bit more styling to this and actually bring these beams across here. And I believe that if I do that, and then I go ahead and place a beam here and here, that would put it this is the foundation, and then 1, 2, and 3 away, which then makes it green. And so, in doing so, we've pretty much supported everything very well for this little house. And obviously when you're building a bigger house, with that height, guys, there we go. Whenever you're doing that with a bigger house, you'd have to do a similar thing. So if we go up to my house actually, and take a look at the support for everything here. Go on up. You can see that whenever I built this, I did not build it to the ground on all of those pillars. That one's not. Which in turn, actually, that makes me realize why some of my roofing isn't perfect. But, see, we've got pillars going all the way up, and I'm not at height limit exactly for building on this, but I'm very close. So, if we look at the durability on those, they are all red, but they are all supported just enough so that they stay. And that's pretty much how you have to build support, is you need to make sure that you're within the limits of the support you have. So let's go back down here and kind of reiterate it just so that we'll make sure we've got it right. So you've got your foundational support, which is blue. We're going to switch to this. Foundational support, which is blue. And then you go to this, because this is still supported by the foundation because it's going into the ground. So then from the foundation, you've got 1, 2, 3 that goes to the next one. Which I want to make sure we didn't do this incorrectly. Nope, that's good. So we've got 3 going up, kind of to make sure everybody understands how the physics works with placing beams or placing any piece of structure and this amount of support it has. So what I'll do is I'll place this beam on the ground, and that's foundational support. And if I place these out, if I keep placing them, they will eventually get to the point where they break. And it should be about to that point. Yep, so if I place one more, oh, I'm sorry, it was already to that point. There you go. So as you see, everything's starting to break due to its actual support. So if you look, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 out. This is the max that you can build on this type of structure before it starts breaking off afterwards. So if we place this one again, it will break again. And that is because it does not have enough structural support. But if I grab this beam here and I snap it here, this one will now switch to green. Yes, so it switched to green and I could continue building out from there. But if you build with a bigger item, so if I build with these, I can build much higher with these going up before they would break, because I can go with that one foundation and then I can build a second one, a third one, a fourth one, and a fifth one all the way up at this height, or with how tall these each are. So that in turn allows you to build quite high. And one little trick, if you ever want to make anything taller, is just kind of hide a higher foundation area in your base to get stuff that's taller, if that makes sense. So if I wanted this part of the house to be even taller, I could just raise this floor here, and then inside I would obviously do like stairs or something to kind of hide that so that it can be taller. But yeah, so next thing I want to talk about is comfort for your character. So as you can see in the top right of my screen, I've got comfort 4 over here and my character's rested. That is because I have this fire going right here, which provides me with more comfort. Now, You can increase comfort by placing down a few different things. I will show you a few of them up here. I hope my video has helped you out today, guys, in order to figure out how to build a house safely to make sure that you don't get smoke, as well as how to build structures correctly so you can get the best support that you can, as well as add a little bit of aesthetic. And stay tuned for the next one, guys. If you liked the video and it helped you out, please like and subscribe, and then turn on post notifications, and then leave a comment and let me know what you guys want to know next. I would be happy to help you out, and anything in the comments that's asked, I'll be down there to help out and reply. Have a great one, guys.